This is 5 News at 6.
It's Football Friday night. I'm out here at the Greenwood versus Northside game. We're going to have a preview coming up in sports. Arkansas once again came up short in AT&T Stadium as Texas A&M beat them 50-43 in overtime. There was one bright spot in the loss for Arkansas, and that was wide receiver Jonathan Nance. Nance led all receivers with 100 yards, and quarterback Austin Allen praised him for his efforts after the game.
He made some great catches. You know, that second post route he caught, I mean, I think he dove to it or something like that, but he's a guy I trust running the right routes. I mean, trusting. As long as I trust him, I know he's going to do the right thing, then, you know, he's going to have a big year.
I feel good. I feel like I'm gaining his trust where he could just throw it up and I'm going to go get it and make plays for him. So I feel like that's a good thing. We got something good going.
After Arkansas's most veteran wide receiver, Jared Cornelius, exited the game in the second half due to a potential Achilles heel injury, Nance emerged as a reliable target, earning him more playing time down the road.
How that kind of happened in the second half is just a freak incident where it happens, but other guys stepped up. You know, Jonathan Nance, you saw him. And we have other guys who, you know, their workload is going to go up, so they better get ready.
I just make sure I practice hard and do everything and know what's going on. So when I do go out there, I have a good approach to everything.
With receiver Jared Cornelius questionable for the rest of the season, Arkansas hopes that Jonathan Nance will continue to step up and be a bright spot for this team. In Arlington, Brooke, Grimsley, 5 News Sports. Bobby, it's a battle of the 6A heavyweights here at Smith Robinson Stadium tonight as Greenwood hosts El Dorado, both undefeated at 4-0. The winner of tonight's game will be an early favorite for that 6A West title. Number 1 ranked Greenwood found themselves in uncharted waters last week for the first time this season. The Bulldogs trailed at halftime as Texarkana led 17-13. Greenwood did go on to rally though to win in the second half 38-17. When I talked to the Bulldogs earlier this week, they said that the game was a big wake-up call for them. Games are starting to get a little more competitive, and they don't get any easier today as they face number 2 ranked El Dorado.
I'll say this about the Texarkana game. I think experiencing stuff like that early in the season is a blessing in disguise. You know, we hate being behind, we hate losing, but at the same time, I think it's good for us to experience things like that so that we can learn to overcome them.
Don't take any team for granted. Always play full-hearted and never take a play off and just keep on going at it.
Now, the Bulldogs said that their primary focus tonight is to play a complete game. They felt as though that they haven't done that yet this season. In Greenwood, Brooke Grimsley, 5 News Sports. Once again, Greenwood is the Sebastian County champs after taking down Northside and Southside to kick off the season. As expected, the Bulldogs offense has been explosive thanks to plenty of talent on that side of the ball, including a junior receiver that has emerged as a big playmaker for the team.
We need those big plays. We need someone to do it. It's so good to have a guy that is an exciting, explosive playmaker.
Greenwood has been lining up the scoreboard on Friday night, posting a combined 83 points in their first 2 games of the season. A key player that has emerged on their high-powered offense is wide receiver Peyton Holt.
We have some good players. We know that. Obviously, it starts with the quarterback, and then Peyton stepped up, become playmaker for us.
In both the Northside and Southside victories, Holt finished with over 100 yards and has accounted for 6 total touchdowns to this point. The junior has also shown his versatility, throwing a touchdown pass against the Grizzlies.
I haven't played quarterback since 9th grade, so we worked on it a lot, but it was awesome.
He's a really versatile guy. He's a guy that's not afraid of the moment. He's afraid to go out under the lights. He's not afraid to go out under the lights and make plays, and I was really proud of the way he played.
Holt has become quarterback Connor Nolan's go-to receiver this fall. The pair's strong chemistry that they built on and off the field has translated to success for Greenwood's offense.
It's a good duo to have. There's no doubt about it.
We play baseball together in the summer and in school ball, and we hang out a lot. I mean, it's just a good connection there, and he just kind of trusts me as a receiver.
Prior to the season, expectations were high for the Bulldogs offense. Holt believes that they have lived up to the hype, but they still have more to show.
I think we have, and I think we're going to get better, and there's more to come.
Arkansas was able to hang with TCU for most of the game yesterday in Fayetteville, but the Razorbacks' flaws started to show late in the game as they unraveled in the 4th quarter. The Hogs were only trailing the Frogs 14-7 heading into the 4th quarter, but hopes for a late rally were quickly squashed as TCU exploited Arkansas's exhausted defense, scoring 2 touchdowns in the final minutes, earning the Horned Frogs a 28-7 victory. Fourth quarter struggles are nothing new for the Hogs. After the game, head coach Brett Bielema talked about how disappointed he was and how they finished the game.
Those last 2 touchdowns were just a little bit of, they definitely weren't tackling like they were in the first half, and that's what I, kind of really stressed to our players in the locker room is, we've since last January emphasized and talked about the way you finish games, and that is not that's not the group that I've been working with for the last 6 months, and it's definitely something that will be on the forefront of every conversation as we move forward in the next 2 weeks.
After the loss, some of the Razorbacks took to Twitter to try to convince the fan base that they're going to work on getting better. One was team captain Kevin Richardson. Richardson tweeted today, "We have to be better in the fourth. Players have to make plays. We will get it done." The NFL regular season is officially in full force. The Jacksonville Jaguars went to Houston today to face the Texans. The Jags dominated this game. 10 sacks today in Houston, forcing 4 Texan turnovers, including this one that Dante Fowler returns for a touchdown. Talking about Texans QB Tom Savage, he was benched by halftime, with Houston having to turn things over to their rookie Deshaun Watson. The former Clemson signal caller completed 12 of 23 passes today for a little over 100 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. The Texans just couldn't compete, and the Jaguars, they rolled to an easy 29-7 victory. Hey, Charlie, well, Arkansas was out to bounce back after their overtime loss to Texas A&M last weekend, and they did just that today thanks to a strong offensive performance, claiming a convincing victory over New Mexico State. Let's look at some of the highlights from today's game. First half, the Hogs, they wasted no time. Going into the first quarter, Austin Allen, he slings it to Deion Stewart. Stewart just takes it from there, leaving the Aggies defense in the dust, sprints 38 yards for the first touchdown of the game. Right before the end of the first quarter, Devois Whaley, he punches in a 3-yard score. Whaley finishes the Hogs' leading rusher today with 119 yards. Second quarter, Allen, plenty of time, finds his new main man, Jonathan Nance. 31-yard touchdown pass. Allen finished 19 of 26 through the air today and with 3 touchdowns. Final score at Razorback Stadium. The Hogs cruised past the Aggies, winning 42-24. Arkansas improves 2-2 on the year before heading to South Carolina.